This weekend is devoted to the future of religion. And I've introduced one kind of paradoxical gimmick into this series of seminars by saying that the best kind of future we can envisage is one in which we get rid of the idea of the future as an area of experience which solves problems. It doesn't. Western man has been obsessed with history in a way that is quite unlike any other culture, and has seen the course of human events as a series of progressive steps towards a goal in the beyond. And you will see that this is absolutely basic to the theology of the Jewish and Christian religions as we now know them, although it wasn't necessarily always so. But they are absolutely wedded to the idea that the significance of human life is historical significance. That is to say, that the present has in itself no justification. It's only justified, what we do now, in terms of the way in which it leads in some kind of progressive pattern towards tomorrow. And therefore there is that, to use Tennyson's phrase, the one far-off divine event to which all creation moves. And we may never enjoy that. Maybe our children will, maybe our children's children. Although actually the result of this is going in exactly the opposite direction to that of its intention. Living in a historical society, the one far-off divine event to which all creation moves is, so far as anybody can see it, the explosion of a cobalt bomb, which will get rid of all life on the planet. That's history for you. And therefore the urgent task of today is to stop history. And to do this by creating a diversion from history. Now, I've explained this in past seminars, but because some of you are here for the first time today, I'm just going to go over this briefly. Let's suppose we get the sort of situation where you've got a gambling casino, and there's been a very dangerous game with high stakes going on for most of the night. And the stakes have been getting higher and higher, and there's a huge assemblage of people gathered round this table, where the contestants are betting not only thousands and millions and billions of dollars, but they've finally brought out their nuclear weapons and have said, I dare you to blow the scene up first. Wowee, what a gamble. Here, you know, it's like in a powder magazine, you're sitting with a box of matches and say, if you don't agree with me, I'll drop the match and blow us both up. So that's the kind of game that's been going on. And it's on a collision course, and no one can stop it, because the mental set of the contestants is such that they can't give up. Unfortunately, both of them believe in the life hereafter, in some funny way. Perhaps the Russians don't believe in the life hereafter, but the Westerns, Christians, tend to believe in it. So once, many years ago, when Professor Urey of the University of Chicago gave a talk to the assembled Episcopal clergy of the Diocese of Chicago and raised all sorts of horrors about atomic bombs, an old man got up who was the bishop, the suffragan bishop of Chicago, Bishop Randall, and said, after the clergy had expressed great concern, I don't know what all you people are so disturbed about, because all this man has told us is that we're going to die. And we knew that already. And as Christians, we're not afraid of death. So the clergy got up and said, hey, all right, it's all right for you, Bishop Randall, you're an old man. And you don't have the problems of us young people with children and families and all that kind of thing. But you see what a dangerous man, a man who believes in the life hereafter, can be. Because he can say, better be dead than red. Because he believes in a future beyond the grave, in which accounts will be settled, and the reds will be proved wrong. Now, I'm trying to indicate what I stand for myself as a sort of half-baked representative of the traditions of the Orient, is not a future life beyond the grave, in the ordinary sense of the word, but realization of the fact that our true life is timeless. That we don't have a future in the sense that we will not carry over into future manifestations of our existence our personal memories. But there will be future manifestations of our existence. Only we won't know it. We will experience it again and again, just as we do now, without remembering any past. Because if we did carry over into the future an indefinite memory, conscious memory of our past, we would be bored. We would say, this is the same old thing over and over again, and we've had enough of it. But nature, just as we have in our biology, our physiology, an elimination system besides an eating system, so in our psychology, we have a forgetting system as well as a memory. And it's equally important. If you cannot erase, if you cannot wipe the slate clean, that's the real meaning of the Christian idea of forgiveness, of the Jewish idea of the year of Jubilee. Forget it. And then we can begin life anew and see the familiar world with the eyes of children who find it all absolutely astonishing. As we get older, we say, oh, well, ho-hum. We've seen the sun rise many times, and therefore we need to forget. And that's the mystery of death. And therefore a style of life which sets the future always as the thing to be worked for, it seems to me to be biologically, physiologically, psychologically unsound. Because it's always preparation and lacks the verve as well as the nerve to live now. So then, this is one of the reasons today why the most extraordinary changes are going on in people's thinking. See, basically, people really do know what's good for them. They have an obscure, unconscious sense. De Tocqueville once said, a democracy is always right, but for the wrong reasons. And this is why our laws in the British and American tradition are really so sane, insofar as they say, well, ultimately the people must decide what they want. Nobody knows, no individual knows what is good for the people. The people themselves know. They don't know why, but they know in an obscure way. And therefore, you will find at a moment when human survival is in jeopardy, that there begins to be, from, as it were, the grassroots of society, a rumbling revolution that something's got to be different. And what has got to be different is, of course, that our consciousness has to be changed.